unusual for us to do that,
Hi,
when
Jackson.
immediately begins to
You're
happen,
on.
and all these things start filling our head about all the things we have to do.
All right, thank you.
We're afraid
Oh,
that
I can't
we
check
would
it. I don't have my
remove
phone. My
these
son has it.
things, all those things are still going to be there here in just a little while.
Because they need my Wi-Fi.
This moment with you will cause us to be still.
Can you check it on my phone?
Just to
Yes.
enjoy this time of worshiping you. That's the reason we are here.
I don't know any of my sign-ins or anything.
You are the only being you. Worthy. I pray that everything that you say, think, and do here this morning would be honor and glory to you, that it would be acceptable in your sight. And that as we go through your word, that your Spirit would have free reign in this place, in our hearts, in our minds. You would bring to mind to us, even now, as we are engaging with you, as we are communicating with you, as we are, in some cases, pleading with you, that you would bring to our hearts and our minds right now any of the things that we have done or are going on in our lives that we know are not what you want us to do. We know they are sin, and that we will confess these to you at this moment. By confessing them to you, we're not telling you something you don't already know. We're just agreeing with you that it is sin. Cleanse us. Those of us who will receive you as Lord and Savior. You've paid our price for our sins. We'll remind us. And remind us that we are here this morning, we are your child. And see how you because the righteousness of our Lord belongs to him. The death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus is now fully on our side. Congratulations. And so I pray that you would open our hearts and our minds here this morning to see what you have for us as we continue on with this passage related to Jesus talking to the disciples and now before them. What a blessing it has been to read these words. Bend them into our hearts and minds so that we will be able to walk away from here in just a little while saying, we now know you better than we knew before. Lord, you have not called us to know about you. We don't even know about you. You called us to know you. We can only do this. Your spirit of Jesus. All right, as we are finishing up chapter 15 here in our trek through the Gospel of John, we're going to be in John chapter 15, and we're going to look at verses 18 through 27 through the end of the chapter. So we will finish up the 15th chapter here. You know, I was thinking as I was reading these verses that if you were to evaluate Jesus from a worldly standpoint, so let's make that clear, from a secular standpoint, if you were to evaluate Jesus as a salesperson, you would come to the conclusion that he is a terrible, terrible salesperson. When you compare what he's saying to us this morning with what he said last week, you would realize that no competent salesman, the salesperson today, would do this. Because if you remember last week, the whole crux of his conversation with the disciples and with us was to show us the earthly benefits of becoming a believer. We know that ultimately what we're aiming for is heaven, right? We know that. Ultimately, that is our ultimate reward. That is that because that's eternal. Here, life on this planet is temporal. But that doesn't mean we still don't get to enjoy the benefits of being a believer on this planet. And Jesus talked about that last week. Do you remember what they were? He told us that if we had faith, if we come to faith in him, that we would have, these are some of the benefits that we have, the fringe benefits that we would have in relationship to him. We would have love for God. We would have obedience so that we could be able to participate in his will. We would have joy. We would have love for others. We would have friendship with God, which is one that we spend a little bit more time on than some of the others because it's so critical. And we get familiar with grace. That's pretty cool, right? If you were a salesperson and you were selling Christianity, I can promise you one thing. You would stop right there.
I know.
There is no reason to go any further than that. Those are great selling points. But as I said, from a secular standpoint, from a
Well,
human
something going
standpoint,
on with
Jesus is a
sound
terrible
today.
salesperson. Because right after this, in the passages we're going to read today, he's also going to show you the disadvantage of being a believer while you're on this planet. That's one of the reasons I love his interaction with the disciples and then by extension to us, is because he does not just give you one side of the story. He doesn't just give you part of what it means to have a relationship with him. He gives you the totality of it. He tells you everything, even the stuff that you kind of wish you didn't know. And he does that too. It's interesting how he doesn't close the door. That's makes it real brilliant. Why? Why does he need to talk? Because he knows in a few hours their life will be They have no idea what's coming when Jesus does. And so he's trying his best to prepare them, and he's trying his best to prepare them. So let's read that. John chapter 15, verse 8. Once you listen to me, we're going to go through the disadvantages of the word that's what I call it. The disadvantages of being a believer while still alive. It starts out in verse 8. If the world hates you, he doesn't waste any time, does he? If the world hates you, know that it has hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love you as its own. Because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will keep yours. But all these things they will do to you on account of my name, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not have been guilty of sin, but now they have no excuse for their sin. Whoever hates me hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works that no one else did, they would not be guilty of sin, but now they have seen and hated both me and my Father. The word that is written in their law must be fulfilled. They hated me without cause. But when the Helper comes, whom I will send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth, who proceeds from the Father, he will bear witness. And you also will bear witness, because you have been with me. I would have loved, and for a lot of visitors, to be flying the wall in this entire country. So many times throughout Jesus' time on this planet that was recorded in the gospel, the interesting things he did, the amazing things he did, that I would love to see. This would be within his lifetime, to see the look on the face of the disciples when he's talking about giving blood and grace and all these other things. Oh, by the way, this world, the world in which you live, by the way, they hate you. Because I'm guessing if there were smiles before that, there weren't a whole lot of smiles after. I'm sure this had to be extremely confusing to you. What is he trying to tell us? He's not just talking to the disciples, he's talking to all of us with conversations. What is he trying to tell us? He's trying to give us the full picture in order for us to be able to see the grace and mercy that he talked about in the first place. Here are 5 different areas that he outlined in his past. Disadvantage number 1. Hatred directed toward us. If the world hates you, know that it has hated me before it hated you. Now it's interesting that that's not the root cause of all of this. It's funny. I think it just shows his loving kindness and his graciousness and his mercy and how much he cared about them and how much he cares about us. That he starts out by saying the world's going to hate you. And then later on, he tells us that the true understanding of hatred is it's because they hate the Father. But he doesn't start with that. He starts with it personally with us. And he's trying to warn us. Do not expect the world to even like you. The world will hate you. We have hatred directed at us. Even from people that we like. Even from people who are family members. Notice his words here. He's not saying the world will misunderstand you. He's not saying the world will not like some of the things you do. He doesn't say any of that. He says the world, the non-Christian world, will hate you. And since there are always going to be more of them than there are of us, that puts us in an extremely interesting situation. We are told over and over again that before we can faith in Christ, those who are outside of God's kingdom, there's enemies, not ambivalence. There is no choosing sides here. There is no middle ground. People say there are a lot of different kinds of people in the world. And I know and I understand when people say that I understand what people mean. But the reality is, look in the Bible, there really aren't a lot of people. Doesn't matter if this is gender or anything else. There are only two types of people in the world. Those who come to faith in Jesus and believe in the Lord, those who say that this is the will of God, the future of God. The Scripture tells us that we're going to be a lot more than the world. And it's not going to be a misunderstanding, it's going to be hate. And the word here in the original language, the word for hatred, is the exact opposite in meaning and substance as the word agapao, which is the word agape, which is that godly type of love. What are the elements of agape love? It's the love that God has for us. Like I told you before, there were three, in the original Greek, Koine, I guess that's the middle Greek, in Koine Greek, there were three words that could be translated as love. Agapao or agape, philos, which is a brotherly type of love, familial love, and the eros, which is physical love, so those, the other two are through the Bible. Of those two, when it says God is love, it uses the word agape. So it's that kind of, it's a love that doesn't make sense. It's a love that we don't deserve. It's a love that's unconditional, right? So is the hatred for the world for us. If it's the exact opposite of it, the hatred they have for us doesn't make any sense. It's nothing we've done, and it's completely unconditional. It's the exact same thing, just in an opposite sense. Why is he starting off telling us this? It's because of the things that run through John more than any of the other Gospels. You see it in a lot of Paul's letters, but there's one thing he's trying to communicate to us over and over and over again in this Gospel, and that is this. As believers, we are not compatible with the world. We are not like them. They are not like us. There is no Venn diagram where there's just a little bit of a section there that maybe overlap. There's nothing. Our Venn diagrams never touch. Which I guess we're not making a Venn diagram. Anyway, I don't know what to think about that. There's no common ground in that. If we have family members who are not believers, and we are, they fall into that category of people who hate us. Now that doesn't mean they're going to walk around and be mean to us all the time. What it means is that they are incapable of understanding the things of God. They embrace the things that are not of God, and when the chips come down, they're going to go on the other side and with us. That's what it means. And he's saying you cannot count on that. You have to know that the world hates you, and it hates you because it hates me. Which we get to here. I've always wondered what that must look like, what that must feel like. This is a passage I believe I have mentioned to you before. If not, I'm sure you are familiar with it. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14 through 16. If you want to know what God is trying to tell us with the hatred of the world, listen to these words written by Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 14 through 16. Listen to this. But thanks be to God, who in Christ always leads us, believers, in triumphal procession. And through us, now listen to this, and through us spreads the fragrance of the knowledge of Him everywhere. If you are here this morning, you have received Christ as your Lord and Savior. He uses you, He uses me, to spread the fragrance of the knowledge of who He is everywhere it goes. Interesting that he uses that terminology of smell here. He spreads that fragrance. And then he breaks it down even further. For we are the aroma of Christ to God among those who are being saved, which means to other believers, we smell really good. We have that aroma. I love this imagery here. We have that aroma to us. To people who are either saved or who are being drawn to salvation, we smell really, really good. To one, a fragrance of life, but the other, in verse 16, he tells us, to one, a fragrance from death to death. To the other, a fragrance from life to life. Are you catching what he's saying there? As believers, to the world, we smell like death. This is an analogy, but it's not a figure of speech in that sense. He literally means this. He's trying. Have you ever smelled anything that was dead? It is a repugnant smell. Anybody that's ever smelled anything? Anybody remember that old folk song, Dead Skunk in the Middle of the Road?
It's hooked up just like it
Go
is
Google
every
that
week.
when you get home. It's a great song. But the idea, if any of you have ever, you usually know when you're passing a dead
This is
skunk,
his receiver.
even if you don't see it,
It goes
because
straight
the
off
smell
and
is
into the
pretty
camera.
overwhelming. There is something about smell that immediately attacks us, right? Especially when it's something really bad like that. So if you walk into where something is dead, and it's a very strong smell, here's what we don't have to do. We don't have to stand there and say, doesn't smell too good. In fact, it smells kind of weird. That's really bad. No, we don't get, there's no gradual. You walk into a room, you smell something that repugnant, and what's your initial reaction? And then without even thinking about it, there's a physical reaction. That's the way the world responds to us. That's why they hate us. They're not even thinking about it. It's not like they're sitting there saying, that guy's a Christian, so I hate him. That's not the point. The point is, every time we are an aroma of Christ, we reveal their sin to them. God reveals their sin to them through us. Do people like having their sin revealed? Do people like feeling that way? No, they don't. And he's saying, look, this is a reality. You're going to have to understand this. That the world is going to hate you because of me. Disadvantage number 2, connected to that, in verse 19, is isolation. If you were of the world would love you as its own. We are isolated from the world. The idea here is, since you don't belong to the world, they don't love you. And that can be a very, very long view. Matthew tells us that Jesus says what? Wide is the gate, wide is the path to destruction, and many are. He says, narrow is the gate, and narrow is the path to salvation, and few are on it. What is he telling us there? As long as we are breathing on this planet, there are going to be a lot more of them than there are of us. And that can be extremely, extremely lonely feeling. I've shared with you before, but you guys know this. I was in the Navy for 20 years. I was on one ship. I mean, several operational tours and deployments on, but only one ship. And it was an aircraft carrier. So we had a lot of people in the 5,000. It was New England, we had 5,000 people. So it was like a town fire. And I had a friend of mine who was on what we used to call them small boys. So there was a smaller ship. And sometimes those ships could have as few as 250 or 300 people. I was never on one of those. I don't think I would have done well with those. I would have had a tendency to do. That's why they put stabilizers on warships, right? I don't think I would have done well. If an aircraft carrier was rocking, it was bad. So that very rarely happened when I was on there. But one of the things, I'll never forget this story. We were talking, actually he was a guy who was on the carrier with me, and he did a tour on a ship, a small boat. They had about 300 people in there. And he said this was the first time in his entire career as a captain, he never made a captain. He said this was the first time in his entire career that he was on a command where almost nobody either seemed to be a believer or seemed to care about being a believer. He said, a process of elimination, somebody had to be a believer on that, but they just weren't
There was nobody he could connect with. So you're on that ship for 6 months, and you do all these stops along these port visits and things like this, and he said he had never felt more lonely in his life. Because he had nobody to go on port visits with, because everybody else had chosen a different way of doing things. It's that isolation that comes with being a believer. And Jesus is telling you, you're going to be isolated from the world. They're not going to love you. They're not going to embrace you. They're not going to appreciate what you appreciate. They're not going to see what you see. They're not going to feel and understand any of the stuff that you do. And as a result, they're going to kind of shun you. You're going to be out away from them. Now, that doesn't mean we're going close to ourselves. Look, if I had my way, I would do nothing but stay with you guys all the time. I like it. It's comfortable. We believe the same thing. We value the same things. We serve the same God. You are literally if you're here, you're a believer. You're literally my brother or my sister. Why would I ever want to leave that? That's not what he's telling us to do. He's not telling us to isolate ourselves. What he's saying is you're going to be isolated. Remember in Genesis, if there was one refrain that was used over and over and over again, it was this one during the creative process. And God looked at it and saw that it was good. Every single aspect of salvation ended the same way. God looked at it and he saw that it was good. He got to one point in the creative process, only one thing he looked at and said it was not good. We remember that one, right? That man should be alone was not good. Isn't that interesting? He created us to be communal beings. Look, I know a lot of this will surprise a lot of you because all you know of me is what you see here on Sunday morning. But I am an off-the-chart introvert. Off the chart. I love being by myself. But even I can only stand so much by myself. Kimberly used to tell me years ago, she'd say, I've never heard of a minister that didn't like people. I said, I like people. I just like them when they're at their house and not at mine. By the way, you're all welcome to my house today. I'm just kidding around. But he made us to be communal beings, did he not? Because right after he said that, it's not good for man to be alone, guess what? Adam wasn't alone anymore. You know why? Because he had created every single animal on the planet. He was not alone, but it wasn't enough. Here's the reality. We like to be liked, and that's okay. We like for people to want to be around us and for us to want to be around them, and that's okay. But what he's reminding us is sometimes that's just not going to happen. The world doesn't want you around them because they're going to be convicted because they see me and you. And we're going to have to get used to the fact that sometimes we're going to be isolated and we're going to be lonely. But it's also to understand that we are absolutely never, ever alone. The number 3 disadvantage that Jesus talks about here is persecution. I will qualify that by saying I don't think in this country we have a clue what truly being persecuted is. That's not to say it won't change, but before we read these passages, I want you to understand I don't come from that perspective, regardless of what's going on right now, that we are necessarily persecuted as Christians. Maligned, mocked, yes, constantly. On the way to persecution, who knows? My guess is we probably are. I have not seen any group of Christians throughout history that have been spared persecution. I can't imagine that we will be either. Might not be in our lifetime, but I do believe that it's coming. But we do have to understand that one of the disadvantages of coming to Christ is that we will experience persecution. Let's read back in verse 20. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they would keep yours. But all these things they will do to you on account of my name, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not have been guilty of sin, but now they have no excuse for their sin. He's not saying that his coming caused people to sin. What he's saying is, by coming and revealing who he was, it made their sin even that more noticeable to them. And he said, if they're going to persecute me, which they have, and they had no idea how bad it was going to get here until a few hours after this, they're going to persecute you. It's not maybe it's going to happen. It will happen. Right now, we see it in other parts of the world. Do you know, I saw this stat the other day. Do you know in 30 years, no, it's less than that, if I'm remembering no, it's more like 10 years. In the next 10 to 15 years, do you know which country on the planet will have more Christians than any other nation? Anybody want to venture a guess? They're estimating in about 10 to 12 years, this country will be the most populous country for Christians. Who?
Africa.
Nope, not Russia.
Africa.
Nope. China.
Ooh.
China. China is going to have more Christians than the United States. Now, granted, they have a few more people than us, but the point is, the government does what to Christians over there? Openly, legally persecutes them, changes the scriptures, only allows churches if they've gone through the proper process of filling out paperwork with the government, and then they watch over them. Right now, there are about 70 million Christians in China. Within 10 years, the expectation is it will surpass the number in the United States, which is the most populous Christian nation in the world right now. Within 10 years, in a place that is being systematically persecuted. How extraordinary is that? That's the other side of this coin. He's trying to warn us, you will be persecuted, but hold on, there's a good side to that coin. Nobody likes to be persecuted. What did James say? Count it all what? Joy when you're persecuted. Why? Because it strengthens your faith. So we know it'll strengthen our faith. It also does one other thing. It can guarantee you the times in history that the church has spread and grown the most has been when they have been persecuted the most. The first century alone, Christianity went from a sect of 12 people, and one was a dropout, so I don't even know if you can count him. Let's say 11. A sect of 11 people. And within the first century, Christianity had spread to Rome. And it was before it was trapped between Galilee and Judea. That was it. Those were the only little pocket of believers. And by the end of the first century, it had spread, the church had spread all the way to Rome. Who was persecuting them, by the way, during that time? What's the short answer? Everybody. Everybody was persecuting them. The Jews were persecuting, the Romans were persecuting, everybody was persecuting the Christians, and yet it exploded in blood. And so the undercurrent in telling us that you will be persecuted is, hold on, there's going to be a good part of it. You have to understand, all this is temporary anyway. Because he wants us to be eternity focused, but still be temporally aware. Right? We can't be so eternity focused that we're not paying attention to what's going on here. That's what Paul meant when he wrote in his letter, if a person doesn't work, he doesn't eat. Right? You remember that passage? He's talking to the people there. You know why? By the way, you didn't context. You know why he wrote that? This wasn't some, treatise on, whether people on welfare should work or their way. He didn't care anything about that. That's not what he was talking about. You know why he wrote those words? Because he had brand new believers who thought Jesus was going to come back imminently, and they weren't doing anything but sitting there waiting for him to come back. They stopped doing everything. They quit their jobs, they quit everything, and they were just kidding. Why would they, by the way? Jesus is getting ready to come back. Almost everybody during that time period thought Jesus would come back in their lifetime. He never promised that, he never said that, that's just what they thought. So when he wrote those words, he was talking to believers who were so eternity focused, they weren't focused on the things that were going on around them now. And that's what he's trying to tell us here. And that there's going to be persecution, disadvantage. Number 4. You see right away why Jesus would be a terrible salesman. Disadvantage number 4, and wait for a while before we get to this one, but this is the crux of all of it, and that is hatred for God. That's what we have to see every single day. I don't know if it would depress you or not. I don't know if it would encourage you or not. I don't know if it would be somewhere in between. But if you, I'm not necessarily recommending this because it can get a little weird. But I'm sure a lot of people read news sites, right? Whether it's Google or Fox News or MSNBC or CNN, whoever. A lot of people read these sites and they'll read the stories, and a lot of people generally stop with reading the story. Let me encourage you to go to the comment section. Now, we'll take something for your stomach beforehand. So,
to kind of calm you down before you go. Go to the comment section. I don't see how anybody can believe there's no such thing as original sin. If you did, they'd never look at the comment section or a news story. When you see the vitriolic hatred that is designated to anybody who dares put a remark up there about praying for somebody after a shooting, oh my God, seriously, just for a theological experiment, read them and talk and see how they just absolute, that hatred for God is palpable. And that's what he tells us here. That is the ultimate reason why all this is happening in the first place. In verse 23, whoever hates me hates my Father also. That is the basis of it. That's why he calls us, before we come to faith in him, enemies of God. We can't help but to hate him. I will tell you, I've shared with this before, and I'll keep saying it. Before I became a believer, before I came to faith, if you had asked me if I hated God, I grew up in the Bible Belt. I grew up in the South. Even though I never went to church, I to use a line from Flannery O'Connor, the famous novelist, short story writer. I had a healthy respect for religion, even though I didn't believe a word of it. But I had a healthy respect for it. I figured there was a God out there. But I was okay with him, and he was probably more than likely okay with me after all that murder related to that. If you had asked me if I hated him, I would have said no. The reality is, according to God, we're going to think over here that
Something like that. It's definitely. Did you try to shove my toe?
that is the
Tried to shut what off, just to
is
kill me.
rejecting the very essence
No.
and nature
I'm gonna
of
shut off
who
and turn
he
it back
is.
on. All right,
And that's
worst
what
case,
causes
we're busy.
all of this. And we see
That'll work.
over and over again. You can't stop the movie or listen to the song. Listen to a radio program. You can't go anywhere, read anything under any circumstances without seeing evidence. Hatred of God. And it's weird, because earlier back in verse 23, when we're talking about people that are doing this, he almost left them off the hook. It's almost like, well, it's really my fault they hate me, because I can't even reveal myself to them. And if I had revealed myself to them, they may not have hated me the way that they do. Isn't it gracious, amazing mercy that he shows you? You know what that's what he's saying here? He's saying unsaved people are going to do what unsaved people do. I remember years ago, and you guys probably don't know this, because there's no reason for you to know it, but there's actual, there are like subsets in ministry. And there are what people think are real ministry, and what other people think are not real ministry. I don't know who makes the rules. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. But one of the things that I learned in my time in the Navy was that when I met somebody who was doing real ministry, they thought that what I was doing wasn't real ministry. Right? I was just a chaplain. I was working with the Navy, or I was working with the Marines. You're not there preaching in a church and doing all this other stuff and leading Sunday school and all this other kind of cool stuff. So you're not really doing real ministry. I had those conversations more than I care to communicate. And I remember, I'm a pretty laid back guy. I mean, well, once I get 50 though, man, did I start embracing my grumpiness. It's great. It is great. Just ask my wife. She will be glad to tell you how much I have embraced my grumpiness. The good thing I was in the Navy when I was 50. It probably would have been a little bit of a problem. Well, back then, I always tried to get along as best I could with people, and this one guy was kind of talking to me, and it was kind of, there and those out there. He was a pastor of the church, and I was just hanging out there with the little bit people, and not really doing ministry. And he said, I just don't know how we need to leave good work. And I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, you're right. You're just like a sailor. I'll tell you from firsthand, it's true, right? That's one of those monikers that kind of sticks. And there's a lot of, it's a very secular organization, probably the most secular organization you'll find anywhere on the planet. And that's saying a lot. But I gave him an answer that, after that, the conversation was over, he was away. And I said, well, I do it by expecting unsaved people to act like them. I'm not sure why I would have an expectation that they would live their lives any differently than they live their life. Why would they do this? Well, they wouldn't. Because they don't love God. In fact, he's trying to help, but he's also trying to let, in his grace and mercy, he's trying to let them, he's trying to extend some level of grace and mercy to them through us. We see that in Ephesians. For we wrestle not. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. Do you think we really pay that close attention to that statement? Our fight, our struggle, all of this enmity that he's talking about here in this passage has nothing to do with another human being on this planet. Paul was very crystal clear in telling us that our struggle is not through other people. It manifests itself through other people, but they're not the source. What are they doing? They're only doing what their Father tells them to do. They're only doing, that's what Jesus called them, by the way. In this very gospel earlier on, when he's talking to the unsaved Pharisees, you do what your Father tells you to do, and your father is the devil. They didn't like that a whole lot. I can't imagine why. But one of the points he's trying to make to us is, and this is one of the coolest things of all, don't take this personally. It's really not about you. It's really not about me. They hate me, is what he's trying to say. It's just, you're the one that's going to take the burden. So even in the midst of this enmity that he says that we're going to have with the world, he reminds us that we need to have grace and mercy for the very people who are saying and doing these things to us, because they're only doing what they're supposed to. And the struggle isn't with them. This is our ultimate. Because that's what hatred of God. Disadvantage number 5. Final disadvantage we talked about here before we leave us with just a little bit of hope here. Disadvantage number 5 is, as a believer, we will live and understand and see that we are in a world full of it. Our eyes have been opened, verses 24 through 25. If I had not done among them the works that no one else did, they would not be guilty of sin, but now they have seen, they have seen the hated of me and the Father. The word that is written in their law must be fulfilled that hated me without a cause. Have any of you seen, this is a really weird reference, so bear with me. Have any of you seen this really strange movie in the 80s, directed by John Carpenter? It was a movie called Halo. Have you ever seen that movie? It's a really odd movie. It was horribly received when it came out. And it's developed a cult following over the years, and now it's actually probably more popular than it's ever been. I want to bore you with all of the stupid details, because it is really bad. It just doesn't even make any sense. But there is one interesting thing about it in the story. The idea is there's this guy who's just wandering around minding his own business, and he finds these glasses. He has no idea that they're special ones. And only when he puts those glasses on does he see the world for what it truly is, and that it's run by aliens. Doesn't that sound like a winner? Yeah. Somehow it's even goofier than I'm making it sound. But he does. He puts the glasses on, and not everybody's an alien. Because when glasses are on, everybody just looks the same. When he puts the glasses on, he sees the other humans, but then interspersed around there, you see these aliens that are actually running everything.
What is he talking
The most interesting part of the movie is when he goes to find the friend of his, he tries to put him on the glass. The guy doesn't want to put him on. In fact, if you ever want to see the most boring, prolonged cinematic fight in history, it's him, those two fighting over whether he was going to put the glasses on. And you know what happens at the end? He puts the glasses on. So I don't know what the whole fight was about beforehand. We could have cut out the middleman, but anyway, that's my little bit of directing. I just wouldn't have done that. But anyway, that's me that's in the But it's fascinating to me because he's telling him, you've got to see this stuff. I'm telling you, you will see the world the way it truly is. And he was perfectly happy. Not seeing it. Isn't that interesting? I found that to be the most interesting thing in the entire movie. Because what happens when we come to faith in Christ, we put on those guys. And we see the world for what it truly is.
What was that?
That is a disadvantage of being a believer, being able to see. And I I came to say, at 20 years old, when I came to say in Christ, the thing I remember the most, more than anything else, other than the joy and excitement, all the emotional stuff that goes along with it, the thing I remember the most is how immediately I saw things that I never saw. Things that I thought were not only okay, but I would have championed them. I would have longed for them. I would have supported it. Even if I wasn't doing it, I would have said it was okay for somebody else to do it. It was amazing. And God is telling us, Jesus is telling us that you can put those glasses on, you can see kind of what He really, really does. And it's so fun.
What'd you do to the camera?
You need to understand how absolutely devastating if there's one
Let's
successful
do
thing
great
about
signal.
X-ray has done,
On what?
it's
I said we're getting great audio signal.
it's sin in the world.
It's all coming
Joke
from the
about
camera.
it.
It's like another jack set.
And for those of you who may be tiny,
I wonder if we have to have that plugged in before we turn the camera on.
It didn't really happen in the first place.
That's when I shut it off.
Let me read something to you that was
I should have
read
fixed that.
in 2008. This is Paul's assessment of the culture in the history of the Holy Spirit.
Let's see. It shows the lights are offline.
Therefore, God gave them up in the lust of their hearts to impurity, to the dishonoring of their bodies among themselves, because they exchanged the truth about God for a lie, and worshiped and served creatures rather than the Lord, who is one forever. For this reason, God gave them up to dishonor their bodies, for the women exchanged natural relations to those that are contrary to nature. And the men likewise gave up natural relations with women, and the consumed passion for one another. And into the kingdom after men, and deceiving themselves to be tempted for their since they did not submit, did not God gave them up to a debased mind, to do what ought not to be done. They were filled with all manner of unrighteousness, evil, covetousness, malice. Therefore, please, murder, strife, deceit, malicious, gossip, slander, haters of God, insolent, haughty, boastful,
coming in good.
fearers of evil,
All right.
disobedient, foolish,
That
faithless,
channel split and another one goes to the camera.
For they know God's righteous decree that those who practice such things
One of the
deserve to die.
speakers and one of the
They
camera.
not only do them, but give
It's all
approval
in there. It's not drawn
to
from the
those
slide. It's drawn from the
who do
camera.
this.
I just don't know why.
That was from the good old days,
It's something in the camera.
2,000 years ago. And what does that tell us? The world has not changed one bit in 2,000 years. It's not going to change any more than it is right now. God promised a lot of things when it came to faith in Him, but utopia on this planet while we're alive was not one of them. You're going to hear about wars and rumors of wars. Don't worry about that. I've got that taken care of. Just keep your faith in me. Keep your eyes on me. He tells us all of this because we have to understand ourselves and we have to be able to communicate to others how desperately horrible sin is. It is the single most destructive force in the universe. Every horrific thing comes from sin. Every middle of the road horrific thing comes from sin. Every sort of horrific
We finally
thing
got the video
comes from
figured
sin.
out and the audio's
Every
good.
little thing, bad thing we do comes from sin. Every minutia of a bad thing that we do comes from sin.
Did he say
every bad
minutia in
thought, every
church?
bad action, every bad word. Everything is related back to sin. Have you ever wondered, have you ever asked this question, by the way? People ask this question a lot about the Bible. Why is it in the Old Testament God seems to be so hard on everybody? Why is that? Why was he a big time smiter in the Old Testament? Right? Why is he smiting everybody? Right? You remember the story of Achan? The children of Israel go into the promised land. They destroy Jericho. God tells them beforehand, do not take anything for yourself. Everything of value belongs to me. Goes into the temple treasure. Don't take anything. Achan's wandering through there, he sees some like shiny gold stuff, decides to take it, doesn't tell anybody, goes and hides it. You remember the story, how the story continues. The next battle they go to, hey, no problem, small, we only need half our force, they go out there and get rallied.
Let's leave this hooked up after
You can't
church.
figure out what in the world, how did the world, did we defeat Jericho and this little town
Yeah,
ended up defeating us?
I'll just grab
It
this
didn't take
microphone
long
and
for them to figure out that somebody had taken something they weren't supposed to. To his credit, they could own up. They had to go look for him. They brought it out to everybody, he said, yeah, it was me. He went to the tent, he showed him where he had it buried under his tent. Hey, I'm sorry, I saw it, I really liked it, and I coveted it, and I took it. You ever wonder what sin looks like? Go back and read that passage. Now, those are the steps of sin.
pull that out and hook a mic to it. And if we have a good signal through the cable, it
And he
means
comes
it's setting
forward
on
and he
that
tells
camera.
everybody, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this. And they are so forgiving to him that they stone him, and they stone his
You've heard
family,
about Robert and his
and they
wife,
stone
right?
his animals. They kill everything that's associated with him. Now that seems like there's not a whole lot.
I'm not sure what to do for him.
I will make it sort of what it was. The big question is why. He owned up to it.
It's a
Why
blessing.
didn't God just come and break on that? The reason we have that stuff, the reason the cross is as violent and vicious
That's
as
awesome.
it is because God needs us to understand how bad sin is. This is how bad it is. This is what
Encoder
everybody
overload.
deserves.
Encoding
We all
overload.
deserve what Achan got. That's the whole point of this. And that's what he's trying to
Encoding
communicate.
overload.
You see, listen, our eyes are open. We see the world for the way that it truly
Consider
is.
turning down
Things
the light.
will Samuel Jackson's told only hours before his death that he was getting ready to die. Do you know what he said when he was told that? I didn't believe it. He said, I prefer it. I prefer it. What did he sing? What did he sing in the last 3 years? A country of war. Slaughtering each other, killing each other. He saw the essence of what this thing was. And when it was time for them to go, he wasn't asking for more medicine, he didn't ask for more time, he was afraid that God was there. He said, I prefer it. That's what the Lord is trying to do. Those are the 5 disadvantages that we have in being a believer, because Jesus was not leaving that. In the last 2 verses, he gives us a reminder of his love and steadfastness. But when the Helper comes, whom I will send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth proceeds from the Father, he will bear witness about me, and you will also bear witness, because you have been with me from the beginning. Jesus tells them all of these horrible things. He said you're going to be hated, and I'm going to be hated, and we're going to be isolated, and you're going to be sin, and you're going to be persecuted. That's cool. But he didn't just
With the
let
baby?
that linger. The first words after he
Take
told
the
them
baby?
all
By
these
yourself.
horrible things
Baby
was,
and
I will send you a helper. Because he knows that in about 43 days, he'll never going to see him again. He knows that. They don't know it. But he knows, because he ascends to heaven 40 days after his resurrection, or about 3 days before his resurrection. So around 43 days, he knows they're never going to see his physical body again this side of heaven. And all of his wonderful things that he told them before, and now he's telling them all these horrible things, and then when we see what happens with the cross,
So you can put us on live. I can put the microphone on and we just check on you.
That's what I'm working on right now. I'm logging into my dummy account.
All right.
Spirit can allow me to live in you. Not just you do, but to live in you. Word in the original language for
Because Danny is,
helper here.
He's gonna fire all of us.
Yeah.
Which means the tall carrot alongside of the alternate alongside of you. In order to do it, you will stay beside you. Of steadfastness. That even though you're going to experience all of these terrible things that I just told you, you will not be alone. You will not be alone in the wilderness. You will not be alone when you're isolated from people that you might actually like or even love. You will not be alone in the world persecutes you. You will not be alone in the world believes that God is making all things. You will not be alone in the world rejoices at the record truth of the story of every single day.
on my other account, so we'll be free to troubleshoot.
Not just with me, but in me. He lives in me. The righteousness is placed on me. So I the Father to see him through this. Because of the sacrifice he made on my behalf on the cross. And it was fulfilled in the way he did.
Somebody gunning it out with us.
When you look at those disadvantages that Jesus was into,
Nice.
would you sign up for this? If this were a club, how many of us would be bold and going to sign up to be? Oh, yeah, let me be persecuted. Let me be isolated. Let me be hated. Let me see all this sin. I can't wait to see all this sin. Yeah, sign me up for that one. Nobody in the right mind would sign up for this. It shows His grace and His mercy. Open our hearts and our minds so that we have, by the way, please wonder about that. Nothing to do with our salvation. But realize, nothing. We're dead. A dead person can't do anything. We're blind. A blind person can't see anything. We're deaf. A deaf person can't hear anything. We only, for lack of a better word, sign up for this because no normal, regular person would do this. Rational person would do this only because he would open our heart and our mind, showing them truth, grace, and mercy. That's what we do. He would be and he's not selling. He is not selling from his own faith. He is walking in obedience today. Father God, I thank you so much.
We're done.
So much extraordinary message that you
And
have
for the
given
prayer?
us
Yeah.
in your word about who you are, how much you love us, what you have done for us on a cross, and how much you want to redeem and forgive us. We don't deserve it. If we had 1,000 lifetimes, we would never be able to do enough good things to earn it, but you don't care about it. You don't love us because of anything that we've done. You love us in spite of the things that we do. And just as I can't do anything to earn your love, neither can I do anything to make you stop loving me. That is how gracious you are. And I thank you for telling us the truth. I thank you for reminding us that while there are extraordinary advantages to being a believer on this planet, before we get to spend eternity with you, there are also serious disadvantages. And we need to know that. Because we need to know that when we go through this, we are not going through this alone. That you are always with us. You will never leave us or forsake us, and you will with us always, even after the years of the age. And I thank you. Thank you for giving more love than I will be able to understand. And more grace. That is capable of.
Stand by.
You be lifted up. You be glorified.
And I'm going to a third song.
We'll finish here with our last song. Our last song is our response song. So as the music plays, you'll see folks come down front.